Okay, so there's a lot of difficult math in this section. We looked at increasing, decreasing functions, relative maximum and relative minimums, or maxima and minima, my apologies. But right now we need to look at interval notation because it seems like that's the part where a lot of people are struggling. So here we have this function, or this graph of a function, and we can see that it goes up, goes down, goes up again. So when we talk about increasing and decreasing functions, remember a function is increasing when as x increases, y increases. So as I go left to right as my x value increases, my y value is also increasing. The function's decreasing when as I move left to right, as x increases, the y value is decreasing. So that's what it means to increase and decrease. We can see that it stops increasing here. And this is when x is equal to 3. Or sorry, x is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. X is equal to negative 4. And then it goes down, or is decreasing, until here x is equal to 0. What we want to do is we want to break up our graphs into vertical sections. So we're going to draw some vertical lines here to help, again, because I think that some people are having a difficult time understanding and seeing how we're breaking up these intervals. So when you write as interval notation, you always start where the graph starts. And the graph starts, see how this, well, this is a poorly drawn arrow, but it's an arrow. So this graph goes on and on and on, all the way down to negative infinity. So as this graph starts at negative infinity, we're going to start our interval at negative infinity. Since the function is increasing since then, all the way up until here, we're going to write that in the increasing column. So increasing, I'm going to start with parentheses, negative infinity. And I'm going to close, or I'm going to put a comma in here, and write the next value as where it's finished increasing. Now don't look at over here to the right where it goes on and increases forever. Look at where it stops increasing the first time. So it's increasing, increasing, and then right here is where it stops increasing and then goes to decreasing. So this is going to be at x is negative 4. So negative infinity to negative 4. And I'm going to put parentheses. With increasing and decreasing functions, we're always going to have parentheses instead of brackets. Brackets show that the number touching the bracket is actually in that interval. So here at negative 4, or when x is negative 4, this function is neither increasing nor decreasing. It is at a full stop. And the reason is you can't just go from increasing to decreasing. There has to be some sort of a change. Imagine that there is a car and it's going forward, it's driving forward, and then it goes and puts the gear into reverse, and now it starts going backwards. There is no instantaneous change. It could happen very, 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 very quickly, but there is one moment in time where the speed of that car is 0. It is stopped, and that's because it has to stop its forward momentum in order to change it to backwards momentum and go in reverse. So that is why when we deal with increasing and decreasing functions, we deal with these parentheses, which say this value, negative 4, is not in the interval. It's increasing all the way up until negative 4, but not at negative 4, because that's where it stops. We always put parentheses around infinity whenever it touches infinity, because it will never equal infinity. Again, parentheses mean it doesn't equal that exact value. Now the interval does pick up again at negative 4, but we can see it's not increasing. It starts decreasing. So it starts decreasing at negative 4, or again, really, really, really quickly after negative 4, but not at negative 4 exactly, so that we can make these brackets. Instead, we have to make those parentheses. So we're decreasing, decreasing, decreasing. Again, here we change directions and now we start increasing. This is at x is equal to 0. Some people will look here and say -1. We're not looking at the y values. We're breaking these up into vertical slices. So this first section, this first slice, the function is increasing. Second slice, it's decreasing. And now this third slice, it's increasing again. So it starts increasing again at x is 0. And then it continues all the way to positive infinity. Because, again, none of these values are actually in the intervals. They're just the boundaries. They all get parentheses. Brackets are where it will equal that. So, again, I know I've been saying that a lot, but it's a very important point that I hope that you can get. If you do have any questions, let me know.